everybody, my name is CodeBlue and welcome back to the Gamemode tutorial series. Now in this video we're going to be creating the round controller. This is going to be responsible for basically starting the game and ending the game. So let's say for example everybody is in the lobby, the round would be ended by then, waiting for everybody to ready up. Once everybody is ready, then the round begins, the game plays. Once the game ends, we go ahead and the round controller then tells it to stop and we go back to the lobby. So something that isn't really entertaining, but this is the thing. When you first start creating a game mode, you've got to do the low level stuff, the stuff that controls the main part of your game mode. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Now I said it yesterday as well and I'll say it again today. My TeamSpeak should be on the screen now. Feel free to come back and you know, have a look at this. Have a look at this. I mean, come speak to us. If you're looking to just chill or you're looking for help or anything like that. So yeah, nevertheless, let's get started. So I'm gonna go into my game mode folder, okay? Now, if you remember, we have this init.lua, okay? We're gonna start doing the server side first. But the thing with an init.lua is if we did all of our game mode server side code inside of this file, it would be incredibly messy. It would be hard to read. You'd be scrolling past thousands of lines of code, you know, just to make a change to something. I do apologize for little pauses then. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a folder in here, and we're going to call this we'll call this round underscore controller. Oops, controller. Okay. What we'll do is we'll then go inside this folder and we'll create two files. We'll create cl underscore round underscore controller dot lua, of course. And we'll do the exact same, except this time we'll do sv underscore. The reason why we do sv is because sv is short for server and cl is of course short for client. So now we have a client side and a server side file. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into these files and we're going to include them into these files instead. So these are kind of like, what's a good way to describe it? Okay, I can't think of a good way to describe it, but let's go ahead. We'll open up the, whoops, that one's supposed to open. There we go. So we'll open up the init.lua and we'll go to the round controller that we just made, and you'll see how there's the two files there. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go into our init file. If you remember, this is what we did in the last video. Now, if you remember here, we add the CS-Lua files. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little comment here saying include other scripts, okay? Then what we're going to do, sorry if that's a little hard to read, but then what we're going to do is we're going to say add CS-Lua file, and we're going to add round underscore controller, remember, because that's the name of our folder, and then we're going to do slash, and we'll do cl underscore round underscore controller dot lua. So that's going to add that Lua file. Now, we don't need to do the same for the server side file because the client doesn't need the server side file. The client only needs the client file. So what we're also going to do here is underneath, we'll go ahead and we'll include round underscore controller slash sv underscore round, round underscore controller dot lua. So now this includes that file in here. And if any of you remember including, it's basically like copying the contents of one script into another, but having it in separate files. It's really good for keeping your code clean. So what we do by doing the include is we say, okay, include all of the variables, or include all of the code, all of the functions, all of the variables, everything from this sv underscore round controller, and execute it in this file. So it now belongs to this file. Just like we include shared down here, I'm going to move that up to here. But when we include shared, it just copies all of the contents of this file into that one. So now that we've gone ahead and we've added that, what we can do is we can now go into our client side file and we can say include, and then here we can include round, we can include round underscore, you know what, I'll just copy and paste that, it's a bit easier. So we'll just copy this directly here and we'll include that file. So now we've executed that file in the CL file. So now that code gets run on the client. If that doesn't make sense, feel free to leave a comment or join the TeamSpeak and I'll try and explain that a bit better. But it does exactly what it says. It includes that file. So now that we've gone ahead and we've included these, we'll put another comment in the client too saying include other files here. There we go. So now we know that this is for including other files. Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and we can actually code inside of these files. So what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the round controller file, and we'll create a local variable, and we'll call it round. We'll do underscore, why not, status, and we'll set it equal to 0. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll do a little comment here saying 0 equals end, 1 equals active. Okay. So if this, or actually we could just have a actually, yeah, we'll use this because numbers will come in useful later. So 0 is when the round is ended, and 1 is when the round is active. So this is when players can actually play it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a function. We're going to call it begin round. Okay. We'll create another one, and we'll call it end round. And then we'll create another one, and we'll say get round status. Okay. So we've created those three functions like that. So let's go ahead. Now in begin round, what we're going to do is we're going to say round underscore status, okay? And we're going to set that equal to 1 because that's when the round begins. And when the round ends, we want to do round underscore status, set it back to 0. And whenever we do get round status, we want to go ahead and return the round status, okay? Now the reason why we do this is because if from any other script on our server, okay, because remember this is server side and we included it in the main init.lua, these functions are not local, meaning that these can be called from any script in your game mode, including add-ons as well. So from any script in our game, we can call begin round, and that's going to go ahead and start the round for us by setting this to 1. Then from anywhere in our other scripts, we can call end round. That's going to end the round, and whenever any script wants to know whether the round is active or not, we can call get round status, and that's going to go ahead and tell us whether the round is active or whether the round is not active. Okay. Now there is one problem with this. Okay. Now this works for the client, or for the server. Sorry, we haven't tested it yet, so we can't promise, but it should do. But the thing is the client is also going to need to know, what's happening with the round status. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll create a function, and we'll say update client round status. Okay, that's a really bad name, but we'll go ahead and we'll do that, right? And now that we've done this, we need to first, before we do anything, we need to, because we're going to do a little networking here. If you haven't seen my networking video, go check it out. Let's say util add network string. Whoops. Util.add network string, like this, and this string is going to be update round status. Okay. Now what we're going to do over here is we're going to say for k v in pairs player.getAll. Okay. Do. So it's going to loop through all of the players. Actually, it might be better if we just did it like this. We'll say net.start. We'll start the message update round status, the one that we created up there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say, oh, those tabs are big. Net.write int. We'll go ahead and we'll write the round underscore status variable that we have, and we'll go ahead and we'll just say 4. We don't need any more than that. And then at the end we'll do net.broadcast. Okay. Now what this is going to do is this is going to send a net message to every single player on the server. So whenever we say update client round status, it's going to go ahead and start a net message, write whatever the round status is, and then it's going to send it to every single player on the server. Then on the client, we could make another variable here called round underscore status. So we'll make a variable with the same name. Doesn't need the same name, but we'll just set it the same for now. Then we'll say we'll do net.receive. Oh, not receiver. Now, once we do that, we're going to receive that message, and we're going to link it up to a function. And this function will just simply go ahead and say round underscore status is equal to net.readInt. Okay. There we go. Now, if you don't understand the whole net.write and net.read, go back to my networking video, and I explain it there. So this may be a bit confusing for some of you right now. I know I'm not doing too good of a job of explaining it because I'm just thinking it up on the spot. But now that we've gone ahead and done this, the client can now have a copy. Let's go ahead and set up some other functions for the client. Just get round status. So we do this on the client as well. Remember, they don't need the same names. It's just easier to do it that way because then, if you want to do the same thing on the client as you did on the server, then you can go ahead and do it like that. But let's go ahead and we're going to want to return the round status. Okay. So now that we've done this, everything should work other than one thing, which is update client round status. Oh, that's a horrible name. Whenever we change this variable, we're going to want to go ahead and we're going to update it. So in here, after we've done it, we call that function that updates all of the clients. And here, that goes ahead and what's it called? That goes ahead and updates the client also. So now whenever the round changes, the client should also receive the new value for the round. So that may seem a bit confusing to a lot of you. I do apologize, I didn't explain that very well. But let's go ahead and we'll test this to see if it works. Now, nothing's going to happen straight away, of course, in case you didn't presume. But what we're going to do is we're just going to run some Lua in our console and see if we can do certain things. Okay, so sorry about that little jump cut, but now that we're in, if we go ahead and we'll clear our console because we don't need to have it not cleared. What we're going to do in here is we're going to say Lua _ run _ CL, and then in our console we can type Lua and it's going to try and execute that Lua. Okay, so in here we're just going to go ahead and print out the variable round _ status, which is a variable that should exist on the client. That didn't actually execute, and I'm not sure why. Okay, so I realized why that didn't run. Do sv _ sheets1, and then do sv _ allow cs Lua 1. Okay, that's going to allow us to execute client-side Lua. So here we'll do Lua _ run. Actually, we'll get our old command back, where we go ahead and we print out the variable round status. And as you can see, that variable is nil. I'm not 100% sure why that variable is nil, because it shouldn't be. Did I spell that correctly? Oh, no, that's of course, it's a local variable. Now remember what I said about local variables? Local variables cannot be accessed outside of that file. They only exist inside that file. But this function is not local, get round status. So what we do instead is we call that. So we'll do the exact same, but instead of printing round status, we'll do Lua _ run _ CL. I do apologize for all the mistakes, by the way, but I did tell you that I wanted you to see me make mistakes so you could learn, how to fix mistakes and stuff like that. So here we'll print and we'll call that get round status function. And there you go. As you can see, it goes ahead and it prints at 0. And if we go ahead and we run the exact same code, but on the server side, as you can see, that is also 0. Now, if we go ahead and we say we go ahead and on the server, we say begin round, I believe it was. As you can see, we've now called that function, and nothing's happened after calling that function. Well, it has, but we didn't visually see anything. But now if we go ahead and on the client, we print out the get round status, as you can see, that is now 1. And if we do the same on the client, it is also 1. So I know this doesn't seem like we did anything, but this is quite important. This is what's going to handle, like I said at the start of the video, the rounds, when the game should start and when the game should end. Now, there will be changes that need to be made to this file, but we will do them as we continue onwards. So I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And don't forget to come and check out my TeamSpeak. If you just need general help or have any questions on this video, because I know that this may not have made a lot of sense to a lot of people. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.